Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. One more thing I wanted to add before we get started here is that I will pick up on the energies of the cards based on the surrounding cards. And the meanings will come through differently every time based on the other cards that are there in the reading. And I get asked this a lot, like how come the meaning of the card is changing? Because the surrounding cards are changing. And I will periodically explain to you why I say what I say, because of the energies of the cards that are there in the reading at that point in time. And I also give you references to the energies that I picked up on the prior cards, and that will affect the meaning of the cards that come after that. So I just wanted to put it out there so that you're mindful of which cards are paired up in the reading. Now, let's get to it. So the first card you have, Libra, is the addictions, and it further says compassion. Further than it says, the situation is influenced by an addictive behavior that is influencing you. Pain and trauma are being projected. Try to see the truth of the situation by stepping outside of the chaos to create an opening for forgiveness, patience, and compassion. It further says, weaves polish the rough stone, not by force, but by endless patient caress. Let every craving show where tenderness is needed. Offer the tenderness and watch the gene turn to water. Yeah, so this is about understanding our habits, patterns. It further says, yes, there is a habit, a hook, a loop, yet love is already moving into melted. So cravings is something that you deal with every single day, and whether it's related to work, workaholism, addicted to perfection, or addicted to phone screens, addicted to food, sweets, candies, sugar, drinking. It could be anything, or shopping, and that addiction could be anything. So instead of being guilty and shameful about it, I feel that this energy is encouraging you to be kind with that aspect, especially if you acknowledge it, if you recognize what that habit is. There is something which is triggering that habit, something which is deeper, which is underlying, that needs to be addressed, and address it with kindness. This is like a water energy, which is compassion. Especially compassion is considered as a water energy. So if you're compassionate, if you're kind and gentle with ourselves, with other people, water has the capability to dissolve things, dissolve the harshest of things. So that's what this energy is about, allowing those emotions of compassion, of kindness, to dissolve things that are bothering you, or that are triggering, or that are becoming habitual, like a repeated pattern or something like that. So when we're kind with ourselves, when we recognize the pattern, this habit or this compulsion or this addiction, it will loosen up. It kind of starts to wash away. And that's when, with regular, consistent effort, we'll see the real change. It happens. Especially we see that habits, it takes 40 days for us to form, transform, and rewire our brains. So absolutely, water is the element that we need to, bring into our life. So that emotional water is emotional understanding, emotional intelligence. And of course, there's a lot of vases out here which are red in color, and red is the color of our heart chakra, of our heart. Now the heart chakra is green. So if you look at the vases, these are vessels. These are vessels which are empty. It's a dark kind of a picture. The ground is stripped away, a lack of water, more rigidity. When it's rigid, things start to flick off. When it's more flexible, then it stands the test of time. We know that, like plants that are flexible, they move, sway with the winds, they stand the test of time, and others that are rigid with their stems, they kind of tend to bend or break. So more fluidity, less rigidity, and shifting up, making changes with simple routines, like, eating on time, eating well, sleeping on time, taking care of our body, mind, heart, and soul, whether it's through exercises, meditation, or soul baths and things like that. You can also meditate on Archangel Gabriel, who deals with the element of water and purification and things like that. So invite the energies of Archangel Gabriel to, bring in these energies more. Now, I'm also getting water element rules. Of course, we are made up of 70% water, but water filtration system like kidneys, liver, and all of those are also at the forefront of this energy. So be mindful of that, especially if you are into too much drinking. You can practice some dry months or dry days or dry weeks. So for that reason, I feel kidneys and livers need to be tended to. That's coming. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. Now I'm also picking up addicted to work or keeping yourself busy or overcommitting, overpromising and things like that. Yeah, it gives you a lot of stimulation, especially, jumping and hopping from one activity to the other, but it'll burn you out. So be mindful into what you choose to give your energy into, We get tempted sometimes with so many invitations and parties all over. We want to attend each one, but then it burns us out. So self-care is going to be very important as well. And don't overcome it. It's okay to skip a party or two or an activity or two, especially when it comes to self-care. And breaking habits of being overstimulated or overextending ourselves to be at all events. If that's your addiction, then you can slow that pace down as well. And last but not the least, if this addiction is regarding to a substance abuse or something like that, then, there's a lot of support groups that are available today and a lot of countries, there's a lot of examples, Portugal, Americas, and all of those. Now they, especially the substance abuse and drug abuse and all of that, they were considered as criminal offenses before. In the last few years, the last decade or two, they have decriminalized it, which means that it's no longer treated as a criminal offense. It's treated as a health issue. And there's a lot of support centers. There's a lot of other programs, and countries are actually, and that's just part of being gentle and kind as the person who's struggling with these addictions. Addictions gets to release and loosen up and, become a more healthier, person. So, and the countries are seeing that, just decriminalizing this aspect of drug and substance abuse and taking to a more calmer and compassionate approach to healing those addicts and people struggling with these substance dependencies. The compassion and those support programs are helping overuse of drugs or even helping people into rehab and come out of these addictions. So rather than punishing them to be treated as an offense for using drugs, they're now using empathy and compassion to overcome this drug abuse, especially in the teens and across all ages. So definitely compassion is helping at a global level, at a personal level as well. Some of you might be actually participating more into animal shelter, taking care of animals, just as to show love to animals or even people. You might be helping at different sport groups and centers to help people with these kind of addictions and problems. And when we help others, we, indirectly heal ourselves as well. If you want to watch a movie that'll help you, watch A Star Is Born, that totally deals with addiction and how compassion helps and, how love helps heal. Star Is Born is, really amazing with this. Now, if the addiction is regarded to is a digital addiction, then we can just, kind of put a time limit or a cap our digital consumption time as well. And because, people sharing how, when the apps come and there's gaming apps and all of that, when we release addiction to those gaming, we can play. I'm not saying just completely stop or eliminate. It's just that reduce an number of time or hours that we spend on unnecessary gaming apps and things like that. When we do that, we get to spend more time with our people at home or in the neighborhood or in the community. And, that kind of, that's healing as well, because we interact, we communicate, we share our stories, and that leads to a lot of healing as well. And I know even a lot of celebrities are also for this, they're supporting these movements, especially you might have heard me talking Stella McCartney a lot because and she actually does a great job. She partners with people who have been through the addiction journey, and then those artists, they come together and they are breeding clothes that have the graphics on it, which are targeted at recovery, so recovery themed arts and graphics on denim and things like that. So that's what I had read as an article. And don't quote me on this, but yeah, you can look that up. But I'm pretty sure it was Stella McCartney who was partnering up with people who've been through this journey, especially the artist, and create something which helps with the recovery. There's a lot of graphic t-shirts these days and graphic clothes. So, supporting those kind of initiatives for healing and recovery, especially through addictions, is something I believe that she is into. And for those of you that are addicted to coffees or food and sweets and all that, you can replace it with so many other things. Like, you can replace sweets with fruits. Or, maybe if you're having coffee, sure, you can have a jumpstart coffee in the morning, which is, I know it's called a caffeine culture, but if you're having more than one or two in a day, you can replace it with herbal teas or, there's sparkling water and drinks that are alcohol-free. There's alcohol-free drinks available now, so you can replace it with that, and it will loosen your addiction towards caffeine and things like that. The next card you have, Libra, is the universe, and it further says the cosmos is not outside you; it is printed on every cell. Celebrate what has come full circle. Stand in the starlit doorway, thank the path behind, and then step forward. Earth beneath, heavens above, an endless possibility within. Yeah, feeling whole, complete, done all the work, completing cycles of healing, of projects, of integration of your heart, body, mind, and soul, when you understand that every path that you travel is now making sense. So it's time to celebrate in a way, because now you've understood the deeper meaning of things, the deeper meaning of life. You've been there, done that. I'm also picking up energies of completing huge projects or, accomplishments and accolades, or, that cap throwing moment after graduation is what I'm picking up. So some of you are actually graduating from college or from school or something like that. So major cycles completing so that the next brighter one can begin. It's like not just closing cycles, but also beginning a new one simultaneously. Or simultaneously in the sense that once we wrap up a project or once we wrap up, college, the new cycle of now employment, looking for employment begins. That's the energy of the universe. Very much in the ethers, cosmos, cosmic energy. And of course, that's the element that, connects the whole of humanity, connects all of us. And of course, there is the earth element to this because, our universe is the earth. That's where we live. That's where we connect. That's the place where everything gets anchored over here. So some of you might be into organizing, tearing up things, or you might be into a lot of practical things like, finding the healing through planting or creating some kind of a structure, just planting trees. You could also be, having a set routine of meditation. Now, because this is the universe, which is also the ethers, you're in the cosmos. So there is a growth and expansion in your vision as well, like what you envision for yourself, your future, the big picture thinking, the big picture planning. All of that will come to the forefront now. So there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of growth, a lot of optimism that comes with this universal energy. When we did the work, we are now excited. We want to go further. We want to take it up a notch. Some of you might be traveling as well. Some of you might be, studying something else. Like you graduate from one college, you want to pursue your PhD or something like that. So some of you might be starting those journeys as well. But it's all about opening up the next thing for you, or opening up the next portal for you. I was reading that ISS report, which is from the astronauts, and they, one thing that caught my attention was that the astronauts, once they see Earth from the space above, right? I've seen those images in that report, and it the Earth appears like one small, tiny blue marble. And when neuroscientists they analyzed it, that those astronauts they went through a similar brain wave pattern. Who actually saw the Earth from up far, from that distance, from the space, from the cosmos. When those astronauts saw it, there was a common pattern in their brain beats. And actually, the neuroscientists are saying that if you can actually visualize that, so if you look at the image of how the astronauts see the Earth, if you take that image, soak it in, and visualize it, it kind of helps to change our brainwave patterns as well. I mean, I have not tried it, but I just read it recently, so I might try it, and you give it a try, let me know how it goes. Now, this is also an energy of long, arduous tasks coming to an end. Like suppose you were creating a process or a structure for something, to replace some outdated structure. So that's now coming into place or is being effective. Just like, I think today, this December 1st is when I'm recording this. And today is a day where in the Americas, it's the first 100% renewable energy day. And it was so amazing, that the whole energy system, those corporations, they want to prove that the renewable energy grids can actually provide electricity for everyone for the entire day, carbon-free electricity for the entire day. And that's, I think, a huge opening of a doorway to cleaner energy. Rather than the dependence on fossil fuels. We were talking about addictions and dependencies. So dependencies in fossil fuels and all those carbon footprints is now being released into something healthier. So I think that was an excellent, way to release addictions to fossil fuels and those sources of energy. Now, some of you, I feel, are also connecting with people across the globe. It's like a global collaboration. That song, We Are the World. I think a lot of artists from across the globe came together for that song. And I've also recently heard of a circular fashion expo. So those of you in the arts and creative arts and fashion and all of that, Chevabon, the circular fashion expo, it actually allows people across the globe from different countries to participate in that expo. So something for those of you creators and artists out there, that might help as well. I also feel this is about linking, each and every city with something connectivity. So some of you could be into transport or construction where you're trying to connect cities together. So to create that infrastructure of far-reaching road network or railway network or something like that, focus on connecting areas and cities that have not been well connected. So to bring everybody together, high-speed rails or routes as well. So some of you could be into that, or you could be seeing that being constructed around you and connecting you to places that, were hard to reach. Now, speaking of cosmos, movie Interstellar is going to cut it for you. Watch a movie. It's amazing. It's all about, those cycles and cosmic perspectives and things like that. So it'll really open your mind. If you haven't seen Interstellar, do watch it. You're going to love it. Even if you've seen it, you can see it again. It's a movie I've seen it 3-4 times. I totally loved it. And, there's a song in that by Coldplay. The song is A Sky Full of Stars. It's such a warm, hard song. It's very heart-opening. It's very, compassionate, evoking kind of a song. Very euphoric. So, check out that song, A Sky Full of Stars, and the movie Interstellar. You would totally love it. Now, also seeing a lot of high constructions going on, like those towers, like how Dubai is going, those Skyloop towers. I feel they're trying to reach for the heavens. So it's something that it totally resonates with this energy. This energy of I'm being up on the humanity trying to reach for the cosmos, through grounded efforts at creating those high towers where we feel like we're almost touching the sky. So some of you could be buying homes in those kind of high towers, or climbing high towers, or visiting high towers, or just seeing the construction of high towers around you, or some satellites as well. The satellite towers that are really high towers. So some of you could be seeing that as well. Or you could be seeing some designers come up with collections that have stars printed on them, just like, we know our famous designer, Iris Van Harpen, who now has debuted the Cosma collection that I totally admire. And I've seen the models, they walk, they look like galaxies when they walk, and it's beautiful. I totally like that. So some of you could be into star-studded events, wearing a lot of star prints, or having kind of phone covers that have a lot of cosmic prints on it. Some of you could be into that as well. So, these energies encourage us to, we will see a mind shift, a kind of attitude shift as well, big picture thinking, higher picture thinking. So more forgiveness, more compassion, more empathy, because we have that higher perspective, the top view perspective, the higher view perspective. So some of you could be seeing those kind of shifts in your behavior as well. Or maybe you've been, like workaholics, you've been through a lot of pressure at work, and now you're spacing it out, taking more time to relax and space things out so that, you have that moment to breathe. And some of you, I do feel that you're trying to, simplify things, whether it's your wardrobe and, or your home, decluttering or clearing out your calendars because you're overly booked and packed with events. So some of you might be working on spacing that out as well. The next card you have, Libra, is number 7, and it says Chariot. It further says Athena, and we can see Goddess Athena on the horse. Too fast moving. She's dressed in yellow. Looks like the yellow armor. There's a wand in her hand. For the movement, speed, clarity. Look how focused the horse looks. There's an owl in the picture, which speaks to intelligence, wiseness, using your wisdom. Further says here, Athena's wheels cut a bright groove across the sky, reminding you that movement without mind is reckless, and mind without motion is dust. Lease your strategy with courage. Hold the reins with calm hands and ride the straight road that called your name. The hour is green, the horses are eager. Drive on, wise warrior, and let victory meet you halfway. Yeah, so it's a great energy of here, forward movement, making up your mind, having the clarity, having a direction, staying focused on it. It's not like just running here, there, everywhere. It's not this energy is not about scattered movement. It's about focused movement. So maybe you've been, contemplating things and doing the work, I feel. Now you're more like, let's go more. So you have that drive forward. So I do feel that, you've made the plans and they were probably, something was holding you back, and we saw the addiction. So you're probably overcoming those issues, those problems, having the big picture, you with the universe con that you just had before this. So you had that big picture vision, the tag, the strategy, and now you're ready to put the work in to, drive things forward. So now the road is actually open for you. For some of you, there might be construction going on that might be blocking traffic, and now that's lifted. So the road literally has opened for you. This could be for some of you. This can also be like a speed, anything picking up speed, whether it's your project, maybe it, like we saw the universe con, where that's a card of graduation. So now maybe you're forward moving in looking for projects, getting jobs or opening businesses is speeding up. Maybe you've planned for, this could even be like maybe you've been contemplating for something for so long, and now you have a plan, you work the kinks out, and now it's picking speed, whether it's your passion projects or whether it's, simple exercise, healthy well-being, healthy routines and things like that now are picking up speed. You're putting that into proper practice. And of course, you do have a plan. It's not like you're just, again, not doing it with scattered energies or scattered thoughts. You actually have a plan, a map, right? So, in relation to this chariot energy, I recall a quote, and it said, when heart, head, and hands all agree, you act without wobble, and people notice. So no wobble, wobble, and people are noticing your focus and forward movement. This is ruled by, it's a Cancerian energy. It's a water element, but more than that, it's a very yellow element. There's a lot of yellow, brown. Brown for me is earthy, groundedness, a structure, a plan. Yellow is more like the fire. So you fire it up, and because there is an owl, there's intellect, there is wisdom, there is planning, there is, exercising the mind. So I do feel that some of you could be planning travel as well with this, maybe like planning the route, like go here, go there, and now you're like all go, you're booking things, you're taking the actions for it. But a lot of forward movement, sharp thinking. So you're kind of thinking through, there's clarity. There's less fogginess in your mind. It's just that, don't overdo it, because we already saw your energies prior to this of overdoing, especially with the addiction thing. So don't overdo anything. Keep it balanced. Now, there is, big picture thinking. We already saw with the universe card. So dreaming big, planning big, having, some of you could be launching companies or starts or something like that. Or you could be going big, which means that you might be, going big, whether it's in celebrations, whether it's with your artwork or displays, or, it's an energy of going big. Yeah, they say go big or go home. So you're going big. Maybe you're immersing yourself into some experience, or you're planning something really big. Maybe some of you are getting engaged or married, or planning destination, weddings for that matters. So it could be that as well for some of you. So stay focused, one thing at a time. Don't start 100 things at the same time, because that's going to slow you down. And also because it's energies of speed. So I think breathing and keeping the peace is also very important, like they call it box breathing, especially those drivers and riders, they prefer to box breathe, it's like do a little bit of breathing so that your blood pressure is under control and you are holding up better, rather than getting burnt out with that fast forward movement. So keeping it well placed, practice breathing, box breathing. Now, with this energy, I'm picking that some of you might be changing up your careers, like really fast to move. You might be joining some course so that you can change, or you get learning up some skills so that you can change your careers, something like that. Or this could be actually training for athletics and marathons, and where you have those training runs and all of that. And now the marathon is right here and we have to go full speed into it, something like that. Now, some of you could actually be watching content which is high speed, high speed rails, or the Mad Max movie. Some of you could be into that, cars and things like that. Now, for those of you that are interested in songs and get inspired by it, you can listen to Kanye West's song. I think it's called Stronger. And that doesn't kill me, makes me stronger. That's what is I feel is the mantra for this energy for the Chariot card. So some of you could be into that as well, or listen to that song. It's gonna inspire you in some way or another. Now I'm also picking up cars. You might be buying cars with this chariot. You might be buying new cars, or you might be just cross country is the vibe that comes. Some of you might be driving cross country, stopping in between towns and setting the town, just setting the architecture and things like that. Or you could be working for car companies, car companies or bike companies or transport companies. I'm also getting a lot of transportation energy with this. So some of you could be into that, or you could be into delivery, delivery options of delivery companies and couriers and things like that. So some of you could be starting out in that area as well. Now, some of you, there is a truck line, the Tommy Hilfiger's truck line. It makes actually jumpsuits. that are good for driving or, casual like athleisure and things like that. And I think it was partnered up with Lewis Hamilton, who is the Formula One champ. So take a look at it. And I really like that trapline clothes. So, some of you could be creating boutiques and stores along those lines as well. Now, some of you could be swapping up old machinery that does the job slow with new machinery as well. Maybe you're buying new devices, new instruments that speed up. You could be buying, some electronics that you use at your house for cooking and things like that that are now old and outdated and work slow or not efficient or break down frequently. You could be swapping that with newer machines as well as something that I'm picking up on. So a lot of the restless mites, I'm also getting some of you might be kind of twitchy legs, if I'm feeling restless. Some of you could be feeling a little bit of that as well. So if that's your thing, just move around, give your body a little bit movement and it helps ease that pain as well. So yeah, good for you, whatever this movement is, fast movement in your life. Now, some of you, if you're into competitive sports, make sure that you're compassionate as well, with yourself and with the other people. So keep the competition friendly, not cutthroat. That's the whole energy of this whole reading for you today. So keep the competition friendly. Don't let it burn you out or don't make it too cutthroat for the other people that are participating in the event. And the last card for today, Libra, you have is the fairy ring. And it further says new skills, advanced training, rapid improvements. Number 37. So the number 3 and 7 and 10 are coming through significant with this energy. It further says a circle of tiny glowing fairies whirl above a ring of mushrooms and dusk. Each fairy holds a different tool, paintbrush, quill, wrench, wand, as if running a magical workshop. Fireflies, tree spirals through the twilight while an open book hovers in the center. Pages turning by themselves. The scene shouts, jumping, we learn by dancing. And that's what this energy is all about. It's a classroom. It's a living classroom. People are learning skills. There is circus, there's books. It further says here, the fairies are circling, the mushrooms are glowing. A living classroom has appeared at your feet. Step into the ring with an open mind and a willing heart. Dance, fall, laugh, repeat. Every twirl writes a new code in your destiny. The more you learn, the lighter you grow, until skill becomes wings and practice becomes flight. So basically, this is about upskilling, the learning. Maybe you're learning languages, or maybe you're learning software, maybe you're learning recipes or dancing or anything, It's like you're ready to learn. And I feel that something that, maybe slowed you down or was working very slowly. Now it's going to go faster with the chariot energy because you've practiced a lot and, you're enthusiastic about it. So now things move faster. So I do feel that you're progressing faster. Maybe you're, like I feel like a lot of you're taking courses, upskilling, or you're joining some kind of groups where there's a lot of brainstorming. It's called co-working studios these days. So you could be joining one of those groups. And I think those groups are called mastermind groups. And it's really interesting to join them. It could happen in libraries or just look up your city, wherever those groups are happening. So a lot of learning in energy. So a lot of air element, like talking with a lot of people, collaborating, learning, of course, that's knowledge. That's the air element, thinking fast and things like that. Now, it's also earth element here because people are learning and putting it to practice. So building that kind of a muscle memory, like, when we have a new habit, it takes 40 days for us to build that muscle memory to do a thing a certain way. So you might be building that as well. There are a lot of mushrooms here, so you might be into mushrooms or a new fetish for mushrooms. It could be for you. Or you're seeing a lot of mushrooms pop up around where you live, in parks and things like that. So there's a lot of breakthroughs even with this energy, a lot of aha moments. So a lot of insights and flashes and aha moments. And once you get that, you can actually ground those ideas or write it down, so that you don't lose track of it. Sometimes I would just completely lose it. So whenever I have an idea, I would pen it down somewhere so that I can, revisit it, take a look at it, actually implement it. So You might be, and this is a great time for like a daily practice session or some kind of, if you're dancing, maybe you're having a daily dance practice or some kind of a schedule for a thing, newly picked up thing. Um, so I do feel that whatever you're learning, you're implementing, you're practicing, you're rehearsing a lot and you're getting better and more perfect at it. And I do pick up a lot of restless vibes, which means that restlessness is not just about a medical condition, but it could also be for some of you. Try some soul paths if that's your thing. Or in general, I feel that more of curiosity to learn, to pick up things, to more curiosity, why this, why that, asking questions and things like that. Or maybe, to doing too many side beats, which I definitely picked up on. And I feel with the chariot energy is asking you to not chase too many things or too many side beats. Focus on one thing. We already discussed that with the Athena energy. It's about not signing up for too much. It's about focusing one thing at a time. So, whether in some of you I'm picking up pottery, so some of you actually could be learning a pottery or classes even, and even I'm picking up crypto energy, so some of you could be into cryptocurrencies as well. Now, because this is a lot of circus vibes out here in the picture, I'm also feeling some of you could be training in some kind of, like unicycling or aerial yoga or something like that. So that might float your boat. So whatever you're doing, do it well and do it one thing at a time and piece it out so that you don't get burned out. Now, I'm also picking up energy of students that enrolled in some courses or college courses, and you have landed a job even before your course or your degree or your certificate is finished. Some of you could be into that space as well, where you signed up for a course, but you already landed a job even before you wrapped up your degrees. So that kind of a forward movement I'm also picking up on. Now, movie enthusiasts, watch the movie Billy Elliot, and you'll thank me for it. How the kid in that discovers, ballet and talents, and how that kid trains and, does so well, unstoppable. The movie is amazing. Billy is the main character in that movie. Billy Elliot is the go-to movie for this energy. And if you're interested in songs, I like a song by Queen, which is really speedy. And, it says, don't stop me now. It's the kind of fight that I'm picking up with that chariot energy and with this fairy ring. Don't stop me now. So something that's driving you forward. I'm also picking up an energy of sign language. Some of you could be learning sign languages as well. I was reading up about a fashion label. I think it's African label. It's called Ankara Code, ANKRCODE. And it's so interesting because that fashion, that fashion trend is actually embedding the QR codes in the clothes, in the clothes that they're selling. And when you scan that QR code, you can actually see the story of the person who created the fabric or the weaver, whatever that is. It's like a great way of providing more insights into the weavers and the, artisan stories. I thought that was a really interesting thing. So that's very interesting. Some of you interested in fashion, you can read that and you can create something out of it. But I really found that so interesting. Now I'm also picking up an energy of espresso art. How those coffees stores, they will make those espresso art with the milk, those beautiful hearts. And I feel that some of you could be perfecting some kind of a skill, culinary skill, or artistic drawing, or cutting vegetables and fruits in beautiful, designs and things like that. So some of you could be into that as well. So in general, I do feel that all those same boring routines are now kind of fading away from your life, and now you're craving more. You're craving growth, future, novelty, something like that. But all the routines are started to bore you and fade away. So great energy here, Libra, and I feel whatever you're doing, there's going to be a lot of growth, expansion, because of your, overdrive to learn fast and to be curious about things. So a lot of books, a lot of tabs, I feel, are going to be open. You're going to be moving from one to the other, which I feel, again, is scattered energy. Pick one I mean, it's okay as long as you're researching, but if you want to really implement one and learn one, I think learn something, you should pick one, just like the Charity Energy recommends. Encourages to pick one, go with it, and then move to another. So if you're in design gigs, take one, perfect that, and then bring another one on board. So Libra, those were your messages, and I hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.